Hi guys, it's 23 Lovely Roses, and today I want to share with you my drawing process. And I thought this would be perfect time to do it since recently I've been doing a lot of draw this in your style challenges from Instagram. So I have multiple different styles that I draw in, but for this draw this in your style challenge, I wanted to use my more like realistic style and do some semi-realism. And here I wanted to like play around with some colors because the palette that was given for like the challenge, the general colors were lots of pinks, different kinds of pinks, and I really liked it a lot. And because I don't really use like abstract colors for skin, it was really fun to do. And I added like blues in here to kind of like brighten it up and make it a little bit more interesting. I didn't really want to use white because I was just like, well, the skin's gonna be pink and I'm gonna play around with colors. Might as well do the same for her eyes and her teeth and everything like that. So her hair was really fun actually to do, and I kind of like the colors were really kind of muted for the hair, which I was like interesting to see how that would look with the blue and the bright colors in her face, and I really liked it. It just like made her face pop even more. So I decided to go with like a darker pink for her sweater and kind of faded pink for the background. After that, I kind of just went in, put a little bit of detail in the sweater, and cleaned up some of the extra lines from the sketch that was underneath. Because I usually use just one layer when I draw, and like first I start out with the sketch and then like draw on top of it and kind of like clean it up a little bit later. And here I'm just kind of like touching it up, making sure everything looks good, and still kind of like erasing the sketch marks and outlining. And here I was like, oh my god, I need to add the eyelashes and eyeshadow and the like little daisies that are in her hair, and just add in the highlights as I do at the end. I usually put them on a different layer so I can easily erase and change them anytime I would like. And here I am just still cleaning up. I did a lot of cleaning up with this one. It was really messy, kind of sketchy looking, but I really like how it turned out. So for my next Draw This in Your Style challenge, I decided to do it in my more cartoony style that I have, because the original piece by the artist that ran the challenge, I'll put her name in the description, as well as the other one. Her style is more cartoony and like illustrative, so I decided to do the same. And here you can see where I'm like blocking in colors like I usually do, but after I blocked in the colors, I realized that I would be really cool to kind of do a little bit of line art and make mine look a bit more illustrative as well. And the colors that I used for this one were a little out of the norm, since I'm not used to using purples and pairing them with like oranges and reds, but it was really fun. And again, I'm using the same brush pack that I mentioned before. So for this one, I had to pay attention to a lot of detail, especially in her clothes, because I mean, there's so much of it, and I had to spread it out in layers, obviously. Here you can see I'm doing like the sweater part that covers her arm. That's thicker, and then as I go along, I start filling in everything that needs to be blocked out that isn't transparent. You'll see that later in the video. But it was kind of like out of my comfort zone with the clothes, because I never really go into that much detail myself with like the clothing, and it was kind of tricky, but it was really satisfying to look at the end. So now I'm just adding detail to the face and touching up the hand really quick. As I continued on with the sweater, I was also figuring out what details in the line art I wanted to put in, and adding in the ruffles, and also adding in the line art to the legs as well. After that, I finished blocking in the colors that need to be blocked in before I start adding transparent colors and the rest of the detail on the clothes. For the transparency in the shirt, I wanted to show some texture in the fabric, because I realized I wasn't really happy with just the bland white kind of opaque look that it had. And so you can see me going in later with the shading, and then I used the smudge tool to give the effect that it's a mesh kind of material. After that, I go in and paint all the little clouds. I liked how it looked with the clouds being very outlined as if it were like doodled on, like very messily drawn, and I like that the best. And I just did not want to play with any more line art, I'm gonna be honest. And after that, I add in the stars and the flowers that are in her shoes, and a little bit of shading on the clouds in the background, as well as highlights and some shadows. And after that, I go into another app and do a little bit of editing, and here you go. If you guys enjoyed the video, please hit that subscribe button and like for more content, and I hope to see you guys later.